Sixer Nation? What is up, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. Sorry that this ticker's not up. There we go. All right, so now we are good. Well, that's the wrong title that I wanted, but that's all right. Hopefully you're all doing well, and I hope that you're all having yourselves a very fantastic day. We got a big game tonight. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. All right, that looks like it's a lot better. Oh, man, big game tonight, bro. Big game tonight, and we all know what's at stake. That's why we were rocking with the jersey today, and we have a lot to talk about. And that's why I wanted to do a pregame show, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to come on, give your thoughts about this game. We'll also be doing a postgame show as well, because this is a big game. This is a very big game. I know that if they lose tonight, then they have another chance to crack at it on Friday, but you need to win this game because you not only are going to play New York in round one, but it's also just a confidence booster as well. I know that anything can happen in the game of basketball. They're really going to have to make their shots tonight, and we'll talk more about the X's and the O's. But before I do that, I want to welcome you on. Want to welcome you guys in, and thank you so much for tuning in to this. If you are new, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notification bell icons, and that way you'll know when I go live. All right, so we have an event starting in literally 10 minutes. What's up, Grace? How you doing, Grace? How are you? Hello, JJ. Let's go Sixers. I'm with you. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to everybody that's on here. We are going to need a lot tonight for sure. All right, so we have a post-game show that we'll be doing at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and you guys can come on for that too. You can also come on for the pregame show. But I do have to say some things before I open the floor to you guys. All right, so, JJ, what is at stake tonight? What needs to happen tonight? This team tonight needs to do a good job with not only rebounding the basketball, but they have got to make their shots. I was watching the Golden State game last night. They took on the Sacramento Kings. Klay Thompson was not making his shots. Steph Curry, even though he had some big-time shots, he wasn't making all the big buckets. Andrew Wiggins was not doing a good job shooting the rock. We know that if the Golden State Warriors were on point, anybody could have won that game. But give Sacramento their credit because they played really solid defense. I'm just saying that it's a make-or-miss league. And with this play-in game tonight, they are going to have to make buckets down the stretch. They have to make buckets down the stretch. And they really need to make timely threes. I'm talking to Buddy Hield. I'm talking to Kelly Oubre Jr., I'm talking to Kyle Lowry. I'm talking to Tyrese Maxey. They have got to make their threes, and they really need to do it in order for them to control the momentum. And I think that if they can do that, it sounds weird, but if they can make shots tonight, they have a very good chance at beating the Miami Heat. I'm not afraid of the Heat. I don't think anybody should be afraid of the Miami Heat. But I will say that in years past, because we have been accustomed to Sixers basketball and we know what the trend has been, we've had a lot of bad luck. This season, we've had a lot of bad luck. And there's always that little thing that's in the back of your head that's like, well, how's this going to go? Right? How is this going to turn out? And we question how we feel about certain things because we've been so used to seeing things not go our way, and that's the hard part about it. So I can understand being nervous about one game because in a 7-game series, in a best-of-7 series, the Sixers should be the better team and they should win. But this is one game here, and if they screw up, it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's over. Not saying that they're done if they lose this game, but the road is going to get even tougher than it has to be. And the goal is to get out of the second round. That's the thing. The goal is to get out of the second round. And tonight what they need to do, in order for them to beat the Miami Heat, they're going to have to make their shots. They're going to have to rebound. And they're also going to have to go against Erik Spolstra's zone defense. That is another key thing, too. I want to see Kelly Oubre Jr. picking apart the zone when they decide to go to it. Nick Batum is a very good passer when they do draw those zone defenses, and that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking for in this game. The adjustments have to be on point. I think that Nick Nurse can go toe-to-toe with Erik Spolestra, and that's going to be a big chess match between both of those coaches. Embiid has to be sharp. He has to be on his A game. And Tyrese Maxey, hopefully he can be a big key factor into this game. The question mark always is Tobias Harris. At this point, if Toby gives you a 15 and 10, I think that's a good game. I think he needs to be a role player out there. And he needs to be a guy that if he's wide open, you shoot the three, you pop it and plug it. If you have a mismatch on you, sure, take advantage of that. But he needs to be a role player tonight. Not do too much, not do too little. And those are my thoughts about that. All right, what's up, Grace? What is good? No fear here. Let's go, freaking go. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go, man. All right, I'm hoping that the bad luck in the middle of the season is better than in the playoffs. Hope the curse is broken. I'm with you. I am totally with you. We really need to have luck on our side. I saw who was officiating tonight. I don't like that Tony Brothers is here because we've had not such good luck with Tony Brothers here. But maybe that curse could change. I don't know. I am going to open up the phone lines. I do have some people, too, that wanted to give me their thoughts on this matchup, and I wanted to just react and see like what they had to say. But, again, we are starting the lines right now on Discord, so if you want to join the event, please feel free to do so. What is cannot start an event that is active or completed? What's going on? Go to my channel. How do I? All right, testing. All right, so my mic is going through on there. So yeah, so come on, and we'll take your calls. But I do want to make sure. Obviously, you can type in the chat as well. But you know, I do want to take some of your calls. All right, so here we go. So Sean Bernard sent this to me, and I wanted to play this. He sent me a little voice memo. So let's see what he has to say. Oops, I have to,
for this Sixers. Yo, JJ, it's Sean Bernard here, and I am hyped up for this Sixers game today. I'm feeling way more confident than I think most are in this matchup. I don't think this Miami Heat team is the Miami Heat team that we are used to. I don't think Jimmy Butler can flip the switch the way he once could. I'm a believer that if this Sixers team plays their best ball, this Heat team cannot run with them, and ultimately I do expect that to be the case. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought matchup for most of this game, but I think the Sixers are able to pull away with things towards the end and get a pretty convincing victory. So I'm feeling good, feeling ready to hear the song, and I do think this is a start of a potentially deep playoff run for this Sixers team.
I think that he brings up a really good point there. I don't think that this is the same Miami Heat of old either, but I also just know that Erik Spolestra and Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero are not just going to go out there and give it their A-plus effort, because playoff Jimmy is real, and Jimmy is going to have a chip on his shoulder because he's going to want to prove to the fans, he's going to want to shut them up, he's going to want to talk about Tobias Harris, and he's going to want to really get into the face of so many guys. Jimmy's a competitor, right? He's a hard-nosed type of a guy, and he has a lot of swagger to him. So while I agree with that statement that they are not the same team of old, and yes, Terry Rozier's not playing, and that is a loss for them, unfortunately, that he's not going to be out there tonight. But I really believe that the Sixers do have what it takes in order for them to just win this game. So I definitely agree with you on that. In that regard. All right, so let's take some more. Let's see who else sent in some voice memos to me.
Yo, Jay. What's up, bud? Hope you're doing well. You know, when it comes to the Sixers tonight, I'm very confident that we can win. Embiid and Max are both playing, hopefully. And we got some good pieces around them. And, let's take the 7th seed and not have to go play Boston in Boston first game of the playoffs. So let's try to get a win here tonight. I believe that we can win. The team's been looking good since Embiid's been back. What, is that like 7 or 8 game win streak right now? I don't remember.
8 games.
But let's go out there and try to win. I mean, this would be big after the Flyers' disappointment last night. Philly's been on a roll, but hopefully we could get some good Sixer basketball, and hopefully we don't have to play that many games in this play-in tournament. So let's go Sixers. Let's hope we could get a win, and I'll be watching you later. See you, bud.
Excellent phone call right there. Love it. Excellent phone call. Joel Embiid is playing tonight. I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. Just got the report from Austin Krell. Embiid, who was listed as questionable, will play in tonight's game. The lineup, it's Lowry, Maxey, Oubre, Harris, and Embiid. Okay. I would have preferred Batum out there, but okay. That's fine. That's fine. KJ Martin is available, and that's also good to know as well, because I think that if you want to play solid defense against Jimmy Butler, you need bodies out there that can stay on him. It sucks that DeAnthony Melton and Robert Covington aren't going to be available, it seems like, for the playoffs. Maybe you give some minutes to Ricky Council IV. I don't really know if they're going to do that, but I will say that KJ Martin has played really, really good defense, and he's been a guy that they have actually really relied on during some points of the game during the second quarter when they have to get some defensive stops. And I think that he can do that. Nick Nurse, we were talking in the very beginning of the season after we got KJ Martin in that trade from the Clippers, and we were saying, what can KJ Martin really do? He's just like one of those guys that can just play okay defense, but he's athletic, but he can't really finish at the rim. He doesn't really have much of a, as the kids call it these days, a bag, right? So KJ, I really feel like that KJ can really be very impactful. And if he's coming in and he's guarding Jimmy in spurts, I think that that's a win. I really do. And he's another body that can stay on him. I also think that he can play solid defense on Tyler Hero as well. But we'll be able to see. It's just nice that they have an extra body that is out there and that will be playing in tonight's game. All right, if you guys want to come onto the Discord server, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to post the link again. I did get some friends to, send some voice memos and stuff, because I don't want just my voice on here. Like, I want to open this up to you guys too. So that's why we're doing this. Let's see who else reached out to JJ. Oh, this guy. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear what this guy has to say.
For tonight's game against the Miami Heat, I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers should be able to take it, with Embiid being fresh and, riding off the hot hand of Tyrese Maxey. My only thing is, again, play off Jimmy. We know how he gets down. We know how the Miami Heat have been spotty pretty much all season. And then finishing the regular season, they did finish the best way they wanted to. But again, playoff Jimmy is a different animal. And then obviously the supporting cast and Bam Adebayo, I don't know. I feel like they can probably give the Sixers a little run for their money, but after Bam, I don't really see a lot of big guys off their bench that can contain Embiid. So I think bench play is going to be huge between the two teams today. Miami's defense, I feel like, is always going to find a way to show up, but it's really their offense where it gets spotty. But that's really my thoughts on going into tonight's game, is whose bench could really outperform the other. And again, I just have to see how Embiid, plays today, and how Bam Adebayo is going to be able to contain him. But if I were to make a prediction, I would say like the Sixers can come out victorious tonight.
I think that that's a really good take, and I think that he also brings up a very valid point too about this bench, because when you really think about it, man, and it comes down to just both of these benches, I think that this Miami team is really scrappy. They're going to have, of course, Haywood Highsmith coming out there. Caleb Martin is going to be like one of those guys that can be a big impact on their bench as well. And Kevin Love. Obviously, Kevin Love has been doing a really good job at rebounding the basketball for them, so you have got to figure out a way of how to neutralize him. And is Nick Nurse going to go to the big lineup? Is he going to go to the Reed Bead lineup tonight? I don't know. If they are having a hard time rebounding, I think that should be a factor right there. And I could see him totally doing that. But yeah, the bench play is something that I wasn't really talking about beforehand, but yes, that is going to be a very big factor in regards to tonight's game too. How are they going to be able to get by when Joel is on the bench? I don't know. I really don't. We need to have a good game from Paul Reed. I think that he needs to do a good job rim running. Kyle Lowry needs to be out there on the offensive side whenever Joel is taking the seat, and Reed needs to be. If Kyle Lowry's in there, if Paul Reed is in there, Kyle Lowry has to play. So those are just my thoughts about that. But no, that's an interesting point that you bring up about the bench, because that is going to be something that you are going to have to, need them. So, all right, we'll take one more. I got one more. I wanted to play this one. And again, if you want to come onto the Discord server and give your takes, please feel free to do so, man. I just got some friends to send me some audio clips beforehand, because I don't want this to just be about me. I want to get more people involved. I want to read Grace's before I go to this one. All the sports books in Vegas are saying that Philly gets the win, and the media is talking about Jimmy and the Heat culture. I'm going to go with the sports books because they don't like to lose money. That's an interesting take. I also just feel like that Jimmy can only do so much, and them losing Terry is honestly a big thing for them. They can win. There's definitely no doubt about it. The Sixers can have an off night shooting, and that's the one thing that sticks in the back of my head. It really does. They're showing on the NBC Sports app, and I think this is really fitting. The last matchup where Joel Embiid went up against Bam Adebayo, Bam had 14 points. He had 11 rebounds. He was 6 for 15 from the field. And Joel had 29 points, 4 rebounds, and was 11 for 25. I need Joel to rebound the ball really well tonight. I need him to be on the glass, because if he's not doing that, I think that this team is going to really give up a lot of second chance opportunities. And that's going to also tell me that they're probably not boxing out the way that they should be. So those are that's just how I feel about that. But yeah, all right. So let's go to my boy. Let's go to my boy Mitch. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, what's good, bro? You're almost at 2,000 subscribers in a little over a year. That's impressive, man. Keep it up. You're doing great things.
Thank you,
Now,
man.
Philadelphia 76ers versus Miami Heat. Play-in game. If they win, they move on to play the New York Knicks. If they lose, we play the winner of the Chicago Bulls and Atlanta Hawks matchup in the second round of play-in. So, what are my thoughts about this game? Tobias Harris. Which Tobias Harris are we going to get? 27 points, 7 boards, 6 assists Tobias Harris, or the 2 points, 2 boards, 2 assists Tobias Harris? And how are we going to stop Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler thrives in these kinds of moments, especially against the Philadelphia 76ers. You all know why. So, how do we stop him? And keep doing your thing, bro.
Yeah, Toby is always going to be an X factor. And Mitch, of course, thank you for always, for always being there and for supporting the channel. Do a great job, man. And I hope you have a good call tonight. But in regards to Tobias, Toby's always going to be an X factor because you never know what you're going to get. If you get a good performance out of him, you're going to take it. I just want to see a double-double from him tonight. If anything, I need him to be active on the glass. I need him to take advantage of the mismatches if he has one. And he needs to shoot wide open threes. I don't understand why nobody's really talking about this, but I'm looking at the catching and shooting numbers that he provided over the last 3 years. His three-point attempts numbers are down. I don't know if that's a Nick Nurse thing. I don't know what is causing that. But if he's wide open for a three, I need him to shoot it. That's what I need him to do. I need him to be a role player and accept his role. Now, he's not somebody that's going to overstep somebody's boundaries, and I really think that he has accepted that he is not the third guy on this team anymore. It's Kelly Oubre Jr., and he's done a good job at accepting that, and he's not overstepping his boundaries, and I can appreciate that. But if they are struggling tonight, if they need somebody else to step up, I need him to just get rebounds, and I need him to just get points in the paint when he has a mismatch on him. Don't do too much. Don't do too little. Just like Goldilocks, it has to be just right. So that's just how I feel about Toby. Coaching tonight. Am I worried? Are you guys worried about Nick Nurse? I'm not worried about Nick Nurse, but I will say that if the hot hand is doing a good job out there, you need to stay. You need to stick with the hot man. And if they're making threes, I don't know if I would take them out necessarily. I remember that there was one game, and I'm not trying to nitpick because I like Nick Nurse a lot, but there was a game this year where they had to play against the Milwaukee Bucks. Campaign was making a lot of shots from three, and for some reason, after the second quarter, that was the end of Campaign. He needs to be on his A game tonight, and the rotations have to be up to par, and every time Erik Spolestra comes up with a move, there has to be a counter punch. So, yeah, that's literally it from me. But yeah, what else are you saying down below? I think our edge this year is Nick Nurse. I hope so. I think he's a great coach. This is just, I think that Spolestra is the best coach in the NBA. And that's no disrespect to Nick Nurse. I think that Nurse does a very good job, and he was the guy that I wanted. I'm not saying that he's not, but it's going to be a tough one. It really is. Ugh, man, I got to blow my nose. Ugh. All right. With that, I'm going to take a very quick step off. I will be right back. Sorry about that. All right, we're back. We're back. All right, sorry about that. I do apologize. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. This is our little pregame show that we're doing. We want to get voices on here and just have you guys give your thoughts about tonight's matchup, because it is obviously a big game. Sixers taking on the Miami Heat in the play-in game. This is play-in game number 1 for the 7 seed. So they're going up against the Miami Heat. They're hosting them at home at the Wells Fargo Center. The game starts at 7 o'clock, but we have some time, and we want to get you guys to come on here and have you guys voice your opinions on what you expect tonight and what you guys need to happen, because I'm pretty fired up, man. I really am. I've been waiting for this day to come. This is a very huge game, and I'm either going to feel phenomenal after the game is done, or I'm going to feel like I'm going to throw up, and I hope that I don't feel that way. But it will definitely be a big game, and it should be very wild for sure. What else do we have on here? What else? Just got past this and can't wait to see a 7 games, or just get past this, and then I can't wait to see a 7-game series. Yeah, I think that the Knicks are going to I think that would be a wild series. Any series against New York or Boston, but I'm not there yet. Like I don't want to focus on New York. I don't really want to even really talk about them until after this game is done, because I need them to take care of their business and see what they have out in front of them tonight before they eye what's next, because they could literally not even play the Knicks if they lose. So now we're talking about going up against the winner of the 9:30 game, the Bulls-Hawks, and then our backs are against the wall, and then we're talking about Boston if we win that game. If we lose, our season's done. So I need us to focus on one thing at a time, and I would obviously love it if we took the win tonight, but I think that we can do it. It's not that we can't. It's just that how is our shooting going to be? And will we get the important rebounds? And will the basketball officials help us out? Because that also matters too. What else? We are here tonight to squish the Heat tonight. I love that. Go Sixers, says Jamie. What's up, Jamie? How you doing, man? Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. One other thought that I did want to give you guys about tonight's game is I don't really think a lot of people are talking about just the matchups that they're going to have to deal with in regards to the fouling. So what I really mean by that is that if Joel is not getting the calls tonight, I need him to get back on defense. I was watching that game last night between the Kings and the Warriors, and there were a lot of foul calls that the refs just chewed the whistle on, you know? So they really need to, if Embiid is not getting the calls, he has to get back on defense. I don't want to see him chirping in the ref's ear and all of a sudden they're playing 4-on-5 basketball. You know what I mean? He needs to get back on defense, and he needs to go into the post, and he needs to play good post defense. Because, again, it's all about momentum. If he doesn't get back on defense for that one possession, guess what? That can give the Heat life. You know what I mean? So, I really want Embiid to be at his best tonight, and if he's not getting the calls, he needs to get back. He needs to keep his head down, and he has to get back on defense. JC's here. What's up, JC? How you doing, my guy? A reality that we play Boston in the first round does not exist in my mind. Okay. Well, that's why we got to take care of business tonight, man. That's why tonight is the most important thing. And then we look ahead once tonight is done. All right, what time is it now? 6:50? All right. So that means that we should be back on in 20 minutes. I am going to take a step off, all right? But I do want to thank you all so much for coming on here during this pregame show. Again, in the future, if you want to come on and just talk hoops with me, we are going to be on after the game. So that'll be at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. I will make sure that I announce that on here. But I want to have your thoughts, and I want you guys to join the conversations. You know what I mean? So I'm all pumped up and I'm all excited, and I can't wait to call this game with you guys. I really can't. It's going to be a wild one. All right. What's up, Philly halftime? Just wanted to say hi to you before we get on out of here and go back to our break. We're still keeping the stream up, obviously. But, all right. I will see you all in just a few moments.